Boom! Hello, friends and fellow drivers. OG Transporter 828 here. I'm back here one more time to give you the lowdown on certain things that are going on, right? Here's the big thing. Here is one very important thing that just annoys me to no end. Yeah, it does. People who have theoretical opinions that are not based on reality. That annoys me to no end, right? They sound so authoritative, but they don't have any practical experience. Once again, let's do an analogy. Suppose you had someone who was supposedly working on you in your life, right? What they were doing, they're a doctor, and you're going to see them about something that you need in life, right? Okay, cool. All right. And so then here they go talking to you about blood cell count, the hemoglobin and mitochondria, and this. They're just telling you about all of this stuff that they sort of read about for a few minutes on Google or somewhere, right? And they're just running all this stuff down to you, and they sound legitimate, and they're talking to you very official voice and saying certain things to you, officially speaking. Well, it would be my opinion that so forth and so on, and blah, 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 blah. And they sound good. Sounds like it makes sense to you. Yeah, okay, sounds cool. But not only are they not a doctor, they didn't even go to medical school. They're just talking smack. They just have empty hype. Okay? All right, cool. Now, while that can happen in real life, unfortunately, it happens on a regular basis. We see it every time we look on YouTube. It's absolutely amazing all of the silliness that we see on YouTube when it comes down to a very extremely serious matter, which is these trucks that we're in, right? This is not something to be playing around with. This is not something to sit around and say, oh, I know what I'm talking about with it. And you've been out here driving a truck for 2 years and you've got all the answers, right? You've been out here driving a truck for 6 months and you have more answers than the guy that's been driving for 2 years. And because that person already has all the answers, but you're even better than that because you only been out here for 6 months and you got more answers than he got. What? Yeah, exactly. This is just like madness and foolishness. And I find it annoying and aggravating, right? I really do. Who do you want to get your information from when it comes down to driving in the snow? When it comes down to driving through mountains in negative 40-degree weather and it's snow outside? Who do you want to get your information from? Somebody that knows what that's like to be in it? That's a good idea. We don't need to talk to somebody who has been doing local runs in Florida, right? That's what they do. They run Florida to Tennessee and then shoot back down to Florida again, right? That's what they do, okay? And they're going to start talking to you about the best way to drive in the mountains going across the Rockies in sub-zero weather with snow on the ground. What? Why are you even listening to them? But see, here's the deal, right? Ask people for their qualifications. Now, you can say, okay, I can ask, but how do I know they're telling me the truth? Yeah, I got you with that. I feel you. I mean, that makes a lot of sense, right? Because you don't know if they're telling you the truth or not. Well, here's the deal. There are people that know me and have known me from day one, like like crazy, right? I still have people who are friends of mine from grammar school. There's a couple of them that are still around, right? So they know me. I've worked for the federal government, right? And in doing so, I have a record. My record is legit. That's one of the reasons why I can do some of the things that I've been able to do when it comes down to this truck driving, because of my record. My record is just like what you read about, that kind of stuff. You just go, what? He did what? Huh? No, no way. Yeah, that's me. I've got one of those kind of records on one of those guys, right? All right, cool. It's pristine. Okay. All right, cool. So I've been vetted. I'm not making anything up. So when I talk to you about driving in the wintertime and driving on these roads and doing all of this wild stuff, right? Like you go, what in the world are you talking about? Can you do this? Can you do that? You know, when I talk to you about how I found it fun to drive around Loveland Pass the first time that I went over Loveland Pass because I wanted to do it. I've driven around Hoover Dam. Hoover Dam. Have you driven around Hoover Dam? I can talk to certain people who've driven Hoover Dam, obviously back in the day, and we talk about there's certain rocks that jut out into the area where if you've got a box and you don't have a flatbed, you better watch for those rocks as you're going around some portions of Hoover Dam. What do you know about that? You don't know nothing about that unless you've been there. Okay? And now we also know what goes on now. After 9/11, all kinds of stuff stopped happening. So you want to get some information from people who are pre 9/11 people and current post 9/11 people, right? Who haven't run into brick walls and ran into buildings and ran into cars and did all kinds of crazy stuff. Okay, you want to talk to people who have their act together. So once again, let's go back to the mountains and all of this kind of stuff. Did you guys know that I spent two seasons in the mountains running a snow plow and a rotary snow blower? Did you know that? And an articulating front end loader that I use to load my 30-yard bucket on the dump truck to put the sand and the gravel in as I'm running a 3-blade plow. Did you know that? No, you didn't. But guess what? If I'm did you also know that I used to chain up all 3 axles? Yeah, dig that. So do you think I care about throwing chains on this truck? Do you think it matters to me? It's going to ruin my day because I got to throw on chains? What? No, I used to do it all the time because it was my job. That was part of my job description. And we had some chains that put these highway chains puts them to shame. You need to understand that, right? So we were the ones that made it possible. And I was one of those guys that made it possible. And I wanted to experience that. So, because I needed to see what it was like to do such a thing, right? I wanted to find out firsthand what it's like to run a snowplow. So because of my background, boom, guess what I was able to do? Get a job running a snowplow for the Department of Transportation in the state of Oregon, in case you want to know, right? So I'm telling you like real stuff. I ain't making this up. I'm not going to tell you that I ran one of those graders, right? Because I did. You know the thing that has the crazy wheels up front like that, and it has looks like tandems in the rear, and it's on this one long thing, and it has a blade that comes down, you know, that deal. That's a grader. I didn't run one of those, right? I wanted to learn how to, but I just didn't have the time. I was too busy bouncing between the 3-blade plow with the wing plow that comes down and the rotary snowblower. A rotary snowblower has 2 engines. One engine is for the movement of the vehicle. It was a 6x6 vehicle. It was an auto car. Absolutely awesome. And then the rotor itself, that thing will shoot snow across the interstate. Okay? The thing's unbelievable. It had its own engine that was on what is known as a hydrostatic throttle. Okay? And you could run that at a certain speed to blow the snow as it's eating the snow. All right? You understand what I'm saying to you? So do you think I was like intimidated by Loveland Pass? Come on now. It's not because I think I'm so bad and I'm this, that, and the other, right? But I have experience. So you got somebody who is 28 years old and they've been driving for a year and a half. And they're going to tell you everything they need to tell you, and you're supposed to believe them and listen to them as they talk to you about inward-facing cameras and how that's like a bad thing. Huh? What are you talking about right now? Where do you base your opinion? They have their opinion about things that it just doesn't matter, but they're trying to be significant and become relevant, right? So they want to make themselves relevant right here where you're watching me. They want to become relevant on YouTube. Look, I don't want to become relevant on YouTube. What I want to do is reach out to people like you who have questions, and I can answer those questions for you. I'm not trying to create clickbait. I'm not trying to become famous about anything. I want to be famous to you. You. I want you to go, yeah, OG is the one. Why? Well, because he's telling me the truth. I know he is. I've checked him out and I've learned this about him and I learned that about him. And he don't talk about stuff that he hasn't done himself. Yeah. So let me be famous to you. I'm not trying to, what am I going to tell somebody that is going over the Khyber Pass over there in the Middle East? I have nothing to say to them about that. I don't even know. I can't tell you what it's like to move something more than triples. I can't talk to you about it. So I would like to go over to Australia and drive one of those road trains. Why? Because it's more than triples. You see what I'm saying? But I'm not going to start talking to you about what it's like to drive a road train. You must be out of your mind. I know I have done it successfully. I've backed up doubles. I've done it because I learned what it is I'm supposed to do. Backing up is a challenge. And I love the whole idea of a challenge. That's who I am. You guys don't even understand the rest of the aspects of my life. Some of you do who are watching this right now. Some of you know. But not a lot of people do, right? That are here on YouTube in this realm, in the transportation realm. Not a lot of people know. So I'm here to tell you that you might want to get your information from a trusted source. Okay? And trust has nothing to do with empty hype. Empty hype is like eating cake all of your life. You're going to be a worthless human being because all you ever did, yeah, you could fool around and say a homemade cake has the 3 food groups in it. You can go ahead and say that kind of stuff if you want to, right? But you're going to be worthless. You're going to be weak. Your mind's not going to be set. Your internal organs are going to be all jacked up. And it's because all you did was eat cake. Hype. That's all you did. Okay? And so your experience level is going to be the same. Do you not know there was a time where, and I know I'm speaking to just a small segment of people right now, you never ever wrap your thumbs around the steering wheel, around the spokes on the steering wheel of a truck. Did you know that? Do you even know why? Yeah. You realize that the steering wheel that's in these modern trucks is far away different from the steering wheels from back in the day. You never wrap your thumbs around a steering wheel in a truck. You must be out of your mind. That's one of the first ways that somebody knew that you didn't know how to drive, because of the way you even approach that steering wheel in the first place. Come on now. There's so many things that people don't know, but they fake it and try to act like they do. And some of you fall for it because you don't know any better. I'm here to represent the better. Okay? I'm here to represent the better. So, now that I got that out of my system, I think I would just chill out a little bit, wait for my load, and keep thinking about some other nice things to share with you. Okay, that's it for now. OG Transporter is out. Your logistics relocation expert. Oh, wait, I messed that up. Your transcontinental logistics relocation expert. Yeah, that's it. Man, that's a long official sounding title, isn't it? All right, that's it, you guys. Look, I'll holler at you later. Don't believe the hype, but believe the reality. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye.